It doesn't get much more Yoongi bias than this. Yoongi fan watching a Yoongi behind the scenes video in his Min Yoongi shirt. Shout out to all my fellow Yoongi biases. What a guy. As real as they come, total inspiration. Let's get into this. I watched one of his concerts. I was on a high for about 3 days following watching that, and that was just watching the video. I can only imagine what it's like being there in person. I look forward to this. Let's get into this.
저기는 불이 좀 먼.
불기둥이 어느 정도예요? 우리 막
이걸 이제 테스트를 해드릴 거예요. 그리고
팬클럽 때 정도는 아닐 거 아니야? 막 그래가지고
맞아요. 좀 세요.
봤어요?
그리고 네.
수분크림 바르고 올라요.
You know, one of the million things I love about Yoongi is that it just feels like he rolls at his own pace. When he's ready to get into things, he gets into things. When he's ready to move quicker, he moves quicker. If he just wants to kind of move slowly and observe things at his slow pace in that specific moment or mood, he will. I think there's something really cool about that. I think that's what cool is. Being able to march to the beat of your own drum. Be comfortable setting your own pace. That can be a metaphor for many different things in life, but literally, you know, setting his own pace in terms of the pace in which he moves physically, but also just how he reacts and acts in different situations. It never feels like he does something to adapt to a situation. I love that. He's very much him in that sense.
내가 어쨌든 오늘은 그냥 관객 반응을 끌어내는 걸 하긴 했거든요. 근데 그게 괜찮아요? 아니면 그냥 거의 그 땅만 보면서 라이브 하는 거예요?
저는 땅만 보면서 하는 거긴 해요. 네, 왜냐면
시선 자체는 여기를 가더라도 그 사비 때 끌어내는 건 없이.
네네네.
수고하셨습니다.
I mean, just little things like that are super cool too. Like, that's a very specific thing. Like, was the crowd vibing more when I was looking down or when I was doing this?
그게 괜찮아요? 아니면 그냥 거의 그 땅만 보면서 라이브 하는 거예요?
He's getting down to the details here. Like, every detail matters. He's constantly looking to improve and put on the best performance possible. So we're seeing that there. And not only are we seeing that in that scene, but we're also seeing that he's open to feedback. He's receptive to feedback. You know, he's willing to sort of lean on the people in his inner circle that he trusts. I don't know who he was talking to, but someone that he trusts about what that person thought about, you know, what the audience was vibing with more, which is just another really cool quality too. And I think an important quality in an artist or any professional who wants to improve, right? There needs to be a balance in terms of like your own self-belief and trying to do better, and also being able to be open to feedback from others. Very, very cool.
초연합니다. 지금 사실 빨리 공연하고 싶다는 생각밖에 안 들어서 준비를 너무 오래 해서 그런가 봐. 평소 콘서트 준비보다 한 2배는 해가지고 런스루도 엄청 많이 하고 해가지고 긴장되거나 이런 게 전혀 없어요.
I think it was like Michael Jordan who said that he was never nervous for the game because he practiced so much and he practiced so hard that when it was game time, he was so prepared that it was almost impossible to be nervous. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Like, you can tell he's just so prepared. He's gone over every detail, it seems like. He's almost taken out any sort of chances for failure. He's sort of canceled those out because he's gone over everything so many times that, you know, the risk of messing up is just so low at this point.
뒤로 갈수록 모니터 더 한다가지고 진짜 내가 어떻게 라이브 하는지 내가 지금 내 목소리가 하나도
You know, that's a cool kind of sentiment that you see from a lot of ARMY, which I really appreciate. We're so proud of you. That's very different. It's a different feeling than we love you, which is also probably true for the feelings a lot of ARMY have toward BTS and Yoongi in particular, but it's a different thing. And I think that relates to like a deep knowing or a deep connection with the artists themselves. You know, because when you feel like someone's like family and you know them like family and they let you in and you feel this real special bond with them, you know, when they succeed and when they do things that are difficult and they overcome challenges and they have accomplishments, like, we feel proud of them. We feel proud of, you know, our close friends and family members that do something challenging and are successful at it. pride is based on that deeper connection, I feel.
슈가 씨 지금 모니터 어떠세요? 힐링이요? 네, 목소리 괜찮으세요?
계속 올리고 있었는데 그 올라오기 전까지만 해도 약간 좀 걱정을 했었거든요. 오늘 괜찮았나요?
Yeah, he seems very calm and composed in between songs and takes backstage, you know? He has some adjustments that he wants to make, but he's delivering those instructions in a very calm and composed way. I think that also helps his team remain calm. It helps everyone remain calm. And I think that's a really cool kind of leadership quality that Yoongi has as the man in charge here. As long as he's cool, I think everyone's gonna feel cool. And he's got that Yoongi charm about him too. That kind of boyish smile at times that he flashes at you when he's looking for your approval. Obviously, Army's not gonna meet him with a no. But there's still a shyness and a hint of vulnerability to that, I think, that brings out that charm in him. When Yoongi smiles, it's always real.
잘했나 모르겠네. 나 진짜 클릭 하나만 듣고 있어. 특히 이제 그 중간에 그 사이퍼 끝나고 나서 뒤에는 아예 안 들려. 그러니까 밸런스는 그대로 갔을 거 아니야.
Just very kind of matter of fact about his performance and honest with himself. I think that's the words I'm looking for. He seems very honest with himself. Here's the deal. Couldn't hear it all. I think it was an okay performance.
특히 이제 그 중간에 그 사이퍼 끝나고 나서
Not sugarcoating it. He's going to keep it real. It's a really, really cool quality. But in the same light, if something went really well, he'll say that too. So I don't think he's like overly hard on himself. I think he's fair with himself. Maybe in the past he's been harder on himself, or maybe internally he's harder on himself about certain things. But from what I see, he's like fair with himself.
공연 끝나고 날 칭찬 감옥에 넣어줘. 해줘 나의 명예훼손 뭔가.
화이팅 화이팅! 화이팅 합시다!
He's just so cool, man. He's just so cool. Like, even when he was walking into the arena to perform, you know, a lot of artists you'll see kind of hype themselves up and will jump up and down. And SUGA has his own way of doing things. He has his own way of motivating himself. He has his own way of getting in the zone. Yeah, I just feel like he's very centered, just in tune with who he is and connected to who he is, and doesn't stray away from who he is. He's a very kind of principled person in that sense, and aligned with his values and principles, and his actions show that. Am I going too hard here? Am I going too into SUGA here? Am I standing him too hard? Oh wow. That's so beautiful. He couldn't be more at ease behind stage, getting ready for it. Like, that's the level of prepared he is. He's just chilling, getting his makeup done. You know, he knows what's coming up next, not stressed, enjoying the moment. That's what preparation does too. That's one of the major benefits to being prepared for stuff, is you're able to enjoy the moment more. When mistakes happen, like a guitar string being snapped, you're able to be a little bit loose with it and go with the flow. It just makes for a much more enjoyable experience for everyone. You're not freaking out, the audience isn't freaking out, and you can kind of just be looser and more free.
아 그거 좋았어요. 그 윤기 형 라이브 버전, 윤기 형 버전. 아 그거 좋았다잉. 아 형 고생했어요. 재밌었다.
재밌어?
잘하네.
몰랐냐 잘하는 거?
아씨, 내 이러니까 이 앞에서 얘기를 못해.
It's a funny combination with Jimin and SUGA, because Jimin loves giving compliments, and SUGA is funny from what I've seen receiving compliments. He usually deflects them with humor in this sort of like braggadocious way. Like, yeah, of course I'm good.
몰랐냐 잘하는 거?
There's a sense of humor that he uses to deflect praise, it feels like, because I think he is maybe a bit uncomfortable receiving it. He knows where he stands. I think Suga's well aware of his abilities and where his skills lie, and I don't think he lacks self-belief and self-love. You know, although he's had major struggles with mental health, he recognizes his skill set. For him, it's almost like that's all the validation he needs, although I'm sure he enjoys getting it from time to time.
전주랑 후주 그래도 마이크 내려주세요.
아 전주랑 후주도요?
네, 그러니까 함성이 엄청
I think he's such a great guy to work with as well, because he's direct in his communication. He's not necessarily worried about how you're going to take his message. Like, he's just very clear and direct. He's not rude or disrespectful. He's upfront, and this is what needs to be done. Like right here, for example, please reduce the synthesizer during the prelude.
전주랑 후주 그래도
He wants to ensure that the fans, army, the audience gets the best experience possible. In order to do that, he needs to communicate these tasks as clearly as possible. It's nothing personal. It's just about making the show run as efficiently as possible.
My wife Emily.
It's so nice to finally meet you.
Who's this guy? His name is Max, too? There's a more important Max in Yoongi's life than me? I don't know how much I like that.
Favorite city thus far?
Yeah, I love LA.
Yeah.
Good Korean food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did go to the restaurant, Korean K-Town.
The one was it the one that we went to when we went to the Lakers game?
Oh yeah. Tomorrow. I love it.
I'm so glad, man.
Oh my god.
I'm so glad.
Thank
I hope
you.
you like
Thank you so
t-shirts.
much.
I think Suga felt like slightly awkward with his interaction with Max. Max was showing him love, and you know, Suga was showing him love too, but like, you know, it's just too, I feel like it was a little harder for Suga because, you know, he's speaking in English, and maybe he feels like it's hard to genuinely connect with someone who you know, can't speak Korean, which is fair. I just sense that a little awkward. Is that Halsey? Yeah.
I know, congratulations. So tomorrow is the last US?
Yeah.
Wow. And you did 3 nights here. Yeah. I was saying before, it's like for an artist in the US, like this is the biggest room. You're like the forum, and then for you, I'm sure you're like.
Yeah, because I think Suga has to go outside of himself a little when English is being spoken to him. And he's not necessarily as comfortable doing that, like being outside of himself. So I think that's when we see like a little bit of like the nervous, semi-awkward Yoongi come out a little bit more. I think with Yoongi, it's like the more he gets to know you as well, and the more you get to know him, the more he can just be him without having to, again, go outside of himself, go outside of his personality. Not that he is fake with new people necessarily, but he's out of his comfort zone a bit. Because I do think he has a little bit of social awkwardness or social anxiety a bit. He's not good at putting on any sort of act, and he's not really a small talk guy either, from everything that I've gathered, right? Like, Suga's getting right to the real stuff, and I think he prefers it that way. So yeah, I get the sense that him and Halsey seem to be a bit closer. There definitely seems to be just a little bit more comfort there.
시간이 지금 없으신 것 같아가지고.
나 이게 힙이 낀 것 같은데?
Ah!
박스가 딱 힙이 낀데?
You guessed it.
Look at his smile.
Look how happy he is. He's like a little kid. He's looking like a superstar here, by the way, in this outfit with his hairdo.
오늘 또 트렌딩 보니까 누군가의 아버지들이 되게 많아. 처음에 후반부 갔어요. 따봉 날렸어요.
And I find that he's just a leader in a lot of ways, and I think he leads sort of he sets the tone in a lot of these social interactions as well that I've seen him in. Like, he sets the tone, he sets the energy, he sets the conversational pace and the conversational content a lot of the time too. If you let yourself kind of get into Yoongi mode, he's extremely captivating. because his energy is really strong. He embodies who he is, it feels like, fully, and you're just kind of captivated by that. You just feel like, I feel like he knows himself very well, and like I said, he's very aligned. I think that's the best way of describing him. Knows who he is, very much so, and when you know who you are, you're going to do the things you want and say the things you want, and that's attractive. It's an attractive quality. I'm just drawn to him for those reasons, and I can see a lot of people being drawn to him for those reasons.
한국과 얘기를 하는데 불태우고 오늘 북미 마지막 날입니다. 오클랜드.
And his team, right? His team, he's at the head, he's at the helm, and he runs this what seems to be well-oiled machine. And people really seem to respect him and listen to him. He respects them and listens to them, right? He's obviously open to their feedback as well. And there's just a real smoothness about the operation that is run here in the Yoongi show. Let's go. Promise I'm a little bit of a better dancer than that. Just a bit though. Well, how fucking awesome was that? You know, just seeing how much of a professional he is here, his leadership skills and on display, and constantly looking to improve and get better, but at the same time, not being hard on himself about it and enjoying the moment. And I think that's what good preparation does. Yoongi, you're the man. Appreciate you guys if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, along with my reaction to Amygdala right now. We're going to be vibing out. All you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Also, if you want to check out me reacting to Yoongi's D-Day concert, you can check that out on my Patreon page as well. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you very soon. Peace.